Everyone, to the next installment of the 25-26 Algebra 2 Honors Midterm Review. In the last video we finished through question number 18, so today we'll start on 19, and strap in, we got a lot of Desmos today. So we're going to get a lot covered simply because most of it's going to be on Desmos. A company launches a new electric scooter model in January 2020. The number of scooters sold each month, Y, can be modeled by this equation where X is the number of months since January of 2020. During the same period, the number of scooters returned due to defects each month can be modeled by this equation. So this one shows us how many were sold. This one shows us how many were returned. It says use the drop-down boxes because this would have been a drop-down digital thing. You know, you could click and then you could pick numbers. Use the drop-down boxes to complete the following statements. The number of scooters sold and the number of scooters returned were approximately equal about blank months after 2020, with both values being approximately blank scooters. Now we could go through a whole bunch of algebra and solve for X, or we can literally just type these two things onto Desmos and see where they cross. So that's what I'm going to do because it's going to work smarter, not harder. Here is our equation for the number of scooters sold, negative 0.5 X, I took Z even though I said X squared, and then we're going to do plus 12X plus 100. All right, next line down, the number of scooters returned, 0.2x squared minus 3x plus 20. So we're looking for when they're approximately the same. That is going to require you to zoom out. Remember, you could just pinch on your cell phone. Like your cell phone. There we go. So looking for where these two graphs cross. Now they're going to cross each other twice. And I am going to get really fancy here and do this. Ooh. Now, this intersection says that negative 4 months has gone by, which doesn't make any sense because this is not Back to the Future. There's no time travel. So the only answer that would make sense is the one that has a positive amount of time, which is our X value, so over here. So as you can see, our X is almost 26. Our Y is right around 76. So this would be time, 26 months. Is it months? Yes. And this would be number of scooters around 76. Okay? So let's go back to our video. So we have about 26 months, about 76 scooters. There it is. Just Desmos. Pure Desmos. Next. Speaking of pure Desmos, we have to match the graph to this equation. Well, we could go directly to Desmos. I don't really think we need to, but because, first of all, see how that's got an equal to bar on it? That means that your quadratic has to be a solid line, so it can't be that one, can't be that one. That's fast and simple, right? And these are the exact same graph. It's just that one is shaded above the vertex, one is shaded below the vertex. This says Y less than, that means shaded below. That forces C to be the answer. But if you weren't sure, you could have gone directly to Desmos and typed it, so I am going to demonstrate that. Let's say you knew absolutely nothing about this stuff. Y and the less than or equal to is here, and then you just say X squared plus 2x minus 3, and let's see, I'm just going to, there you go. So you could see that it is the same one that we chose. Ta-da. Okay. Next. Hey, look, something else I don't feel like doing by hand. To Desmos we go. I just want you to get 100s, that's all. So we're going to type exactly what we see. Negative x squared minus 4x plus 32 greater than 0. Thank you, Desmos, for showing me that the answers are between negative 8 and positive 4, and they do not have equal to bars. So from negative 8 to positive 4, no equal to bars. From negative 8 to positive 4, done. There it is. Negative 8 to positive 4. What was that actually? Negative 8, positive 4? Yeah, that's it. Negative 8 to positive 4. Finished. You might be wondering what all of this stuff is with all the extra symbols. It's just called set builder notation. don't worry about it. Just look at the inequality and you're ready to rock and roll, okay? There it is. Very simple. Next. What is the equation of the function shown? Well, the easiest way to know how to do this is to just know that all of these are vertex form and know that it's what makes the inside equal 0, comma, the number to the far right. This one's vertex will be at what makes the inside equal 0, so -1, comma, the number to the far right, -1. This one's vertex is at what makes the inside equal 0, 1, comma, -1. What makes the inside equal 0 is -1, comma, +1. And what makes the inside equal 0, comma, the number, so 1, comma, 1. Now look at your vertex. See that it is at -1, comma, -1, forcing A to be your result. There. Let's say you had no idea how to graph vertex form. Then you could just type them all into Desmos and see which one matches this image. It is that easy. Speaking of being that easy, here's another one that we could just type directly on Desmos. I really don't feel like typing all 4 of them because that one's got a negative sign on the front, and negative people frown. This is clearly a smiley. That's garbage. If you knew nothing else, you could type all 3 of these onto Desmos and see which one works. I know a little bit, jokes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see that this one's y-intercept is at 0. That means it can't be example D because, or option D, because its y-intercept would have been at -15. There. I'm just going to type these 2 and see which one it is. Okay, 2x squared plus 11x, 11x squared plus 2x. Get rid of this. 2x squared plus 11x. Let's see if it's that one. Let's track our vertex. Looks like our vertex is at -2 and change, -15 and change, -2 and change, -15 and change. There it is. That's the answer. It's B. Just to make sure, let's go ahead and do C, and let's see that the vertex is wildly wrong. We're just going to switch the 2 and the 11. Holy guacamole. Yeah, look at that. I mean, it's like nowhere near possible. So, it was definitely this one. Cool beans, cool beans. Great. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. That happened to be B. All right, popping right along, popping right along. You know, I'm gonna be real. I love Desmos. It's gonna do most of this midterm for you. It says, what is the equation of the function knowing this table? We could use a graphing calculator, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's actually easier to use Desmos than use a graphing calculator for this one. So let's go directly to Desmos, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type this table into Desmos. Let me go back to home. Here's how you type a table into Desmos once again. Click in here, hit this plus sign, and you're going to add a table. For your x's, -3, enter, -2, enter, and no, it's going to autofill for me. -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. That was nice. Go back up to the top. Y values, 0, -3, -4, -3 again, 0, 5, 12. Awesome. I want my answer to be a quadratic, like you see here. So I'm going to click this thing right here, add regression. That means give me an equation. And I'm going to tell it I want a quadratic. And there it is. X squared plus 2x minus 3. X squared plus 2x minus 3. X squared plus 2x minus 3. Thank you, Desmos. Appreciate you. Next. Mike was asked to sketch the graph and write the equation of the function from this table. This is Mike's answer. Equation, graph. Apparently, Mike is wrong because it says which of these was his error. Either his graph is wrong because the vertex is in the wrong spot, or his equation is wrong, it should have been one of these two. rather than doing all the really hard work, I'm going to put this table in Desmos and ask Desmos to give me the equation and the graph. So we go back to Desmos. I'll just clear this. Plus sign, table, -1, enter, 0, enter. Sorry. Try that again. There we go. After 0, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. My y values were -5, -2, -1, -2, -5. Thank you, Desmos. Here's your vertex at 1, -1. If we look at our image, looks to me like that vertex is in the right spot. See, both of these equations or graphs saying it's wrong is because you see the vertex in the wrong spot. That vertex is perfect. So we know that both of these are Garbaggio. It must be his equation that's wrong. Hey, Desmos, what's wrong with his equation? Click here. And give me the quadratic equation, please. -x² plus 2x minus 2. -x² plus 2x minus 2 is right there. I mean, look, if they're going to tell you to cheat, freaking know how to cheat, right? Let Desmos do this work for you. Question number 26 says, find these solutions. Okay, I'm going to be real with you. It's faster to just do this by hand than it is to type all this into Desmos. If you wanted to type it into Desmos, you could, and you would just click on where things are crossing the x-axis. The problem is, you'll notice every one of these answers is a fraction. And Desmos is not going to give you fraction answers. It's usually just going to give you decimal answers. So I'm going to go ahead and just solve this algebraically. Here's how you do that. Since this is factored in equals 0, you literally just set the parts equal to 0 and then solve for x to be finished. Subtract 3 from both sides and divide both sides by 2. There's one of the answers. Add 7 to both sides, and then divide both sides by 5. There's one of the answers. So clearly this one had 2 correct answers. Again, you could type it onto Desmos, but I mean, that one you might know real quick that that's -1.5, but I mean, how many people know really fast that that's the number 1.4, because that's what Desmos is going to give you. I mean, obviously you could use a calculator to convert those decimals back into fractions if you really wanted to, but really this is just easier. Number 27, find the solutions to this equation. Yeah, I mean, we could subtract 11 and factor, but that's right. I'm going to go back to Desmos. I'm just going to get rid of this. And I'm going to type exactly what it says. x² plus 14x plus 44 equals 11. And I'm going to zoom out. And I'm going to see that my answers are -11 and -3. Thank you, Desmos. I mean, oops. Of course, there's no excuse for stupid. I wrote the wrong number, but there we go. A video game developer determines that the profit in thousands of dollars from a video game can be modeled by this equation. So here's my profit equation when X is the price for a game. Which of the following solutions is considered extraneous in this situation? Okay, the worst part about this one is knowing what this word means. Extraneous means an answer that doesn't make any sense. So what kind of answers don't make sense when you're talking about the price of an item? Negative answers don't make sense. That means the store paid you to purchase the game. So we already know that these are extraneous possibilities. But let's go ahead and put this into Desmos and see what it shows me. Get rid of that. What do we have? Negative 4x squared plus 58x, might have to do some zooming for this one, plus 210. Okay, we have an answer at $17.5 and we have an answer at -3. The question says which one is extraneous. Extraneous meaning something that doesn't make any sense. Well, what doesn't make any sense is a game costing a negative amount of money. -3 is definitely our extraneous result. And that's it. And you know what? I think that's a great place to call the video because we're more than halfway finished. And that's a nice, easy one. Okay, nerds, till next time, deuces.